The upcoming season of the Springfield Symphony Orchestra is the 67th of the Orchestras, and it's also the 10th season that the orchestra and I have been together. And so for this season, I've selected some of my favorite works that the orchestra and I have done over these past 10 years together to highlight our 10-year marriage, if you will. On opening night, we get started with the Rachmaninoff's Second Symphony. We first performed this nearly 10 years ago during my first season as music director, and I can't wait to get back to this work. The orchestra and I have played much Rachmaninoff over the years. Two of the piano concertos, the variations on a theme of Paganini, several tone poems, and so it's really going to be exciting to go back to this first big work of Rachmaninoff that we did together and see to what sort of a new level we can bring it. Now, not only Rachmaninoff, but many other Russian composers have featured prevalently over the years together, and the Tchaikovsky Fifth Symphony is one of those. This is also another one of my favorite pieces. Later on, we are going to go in a slightly different direction from the big, heavy Russian romantics to Mozart and Beethoven. From Beethoven, I've decided to redo the Eroica Symphony, the Symphony No. 3. Of course, with every Beethoven symphony, you say it's one of my favorites. But the Eroica really is so special because somehow, without the text of the Ninth Symphony to impart a real clear message, the Eroica still does impart a message somehow. It's that incredible genius of Beethoven that you have going there. Then the Mozart 40th Symphony. This is one of the all-time standards, one of the all-time hits. I have many colleagues who say, oh, I'll never play the 40th Symphony because it's played too often. Well, I'm not one of those. I love playing the 40th Symphony, and I can't wait to get back to it again. Later on, we're going to be having the Symphonie Fantastique by Berlioz. And this landmark work is really such a virtuoso piece for the orchestra. And again, I can't wait to get back to all of these pieces and see how we can refine them and grow artistically. Now, we're of course not going to be just doing some of our favorite works over the past years. We're going to be bringing many new works. Among those is the Barber Piano Concerto, which is an incredible piece. It's probably well, it's definitely one of the top 3 most difficult concertos ever written. And, you know, Samuel Barber, we know his Adagio for strings, and several other beautiful works, but this really is my favorite piece by Barber. Norman Krieger is returning to play with us. Norman first played a few years ago when we did the Gershwin Piano Concerto, and Norman and I just found an immediate sort of synergy about that Gershwin Concerto that really translates well over into this other great American piano concerto, the Barber Piano Concerto. And so this is going to be a real exciting musical reunion. And then we're going to be having a little bit of a rarity, the Dvorak Piano Concerto. The cello and the violin concerto are fairly well known, but the piano concerto is a bit of a neglected gem. And we have a Czech pianist, Mr. Martin Kasik, coming to play that one with us. Then we're going to be having the Brahms Violin Concerto. Now this is a towering work by anyone's estimation. It's, you know, as is often the case with Brahms and his concertos, we say, is it a concerto or is it a symphony with soloist? And the Violin Concerto is kind of one of these works. It's a symphony with a violin solo. There's also another musical reunion on the season, and that is violinist Rachel Barton-Pine. She played the Beethoven Violin Concerto with us a few years ago, and she's now coming back to play the Brahms Violin Concerto. And I've had the pleasure of playing the Brahms Violin Concerto with Rachel with another orchestra, and oh my, is this really something truly special. That is really a performance not to be missed. Then we have a brand new work, the Gregson Trumpet Concerto. It's going to be played by Pioneer Valley and Long Meadow native, Mr. Adam Luffman. Adam, since his days as a student in Long Meadow, has gone on to great things. He's currently the principal trumpet of the San Francisco Opera, and we're really excited to have him back to his hometown area to experience his now mature artistry. One of the concerts in the season has absolutely no soloist. The orchestra is the soloist, and this evening we're calling A Night at the Ballet. And this concert is very special for me for several reasons. The first of which is that when I'm not in Springfield conducting the Springfield Symphony, one of the things that I oftentimes do is go to Europe and conduct the big ballets with the big ballet companies of Europe. The Paris Opera Ballet, the La Scala Ballet, Vienna State Opera Ballet, and many others. And so this is a real treat for me to be able to take some of this ballet music and bring it over into the concert hall where we can just focus on the music. And we're going to be hearing Stravinsky's great Petrushka. We're also going to be playing music from Tchaikovsky's Sleeping Beauty. I'm actually putting together my own suite or fantasy, if you will, of music from Sleeping Beauty, because there is so much great music that accompanies the storytelling of the ballet. You know, the when the witch comes and when the good fairy banishes her, or when the prince is going through the enchanted forest and finds Sleeping Beauty and she wakes up and they kiss and all of the rest. And Tchaikovsky's music for this is so incredibly dramatic. It absolutely tells the story on its own. Also, we're going to be having on this program music by Delibes, his Coppelia, and also the Saber Dance by Khachaturian, a favorite from everybody from the David Letterman Late Show to every Saturday morning cartoon you ever heard. And this concert is also going to celebrate, for me, something kind of important. It was in April, 30 years ago, that I first started conducting. And it was when I was 16, conducting musicals in my hometown at the community theater, and I didn't get paid much, but I was paid, so I could say at 16 I was a professional conductor. So I'm going to be celebrating that 30th anniversary right here in Springfield with this Night at the Ballet. I hope you'll really join me for that one. It's going to be a special night for me. And then on the final concert of the season, we're going to be having the Poulenc Gloria. For chorus and soprano soloist and orchestra. And this work is, it's one of my favorite religious works, if you will, because it doesn't sound like a religious work. It has this real special combination of Moulin Rouge and a cathedral. It's part music hall, part church service. And Poulenc puts it all together in this really unique way of his. And of course, the best way to get the seats you want throughout the season is to get the subscription. Subscriptions are available now. You can find out all the information online at springfieldsymphony.org, but you have to call our box office to actually purchase the tickets. That's 733-2291. Once again, 733-2291. Call, get those subscription seats because they are going fast.